Hello YouTube, so another video for the fans. So I thought I'd do not just another cycling video but something a little bit different today. And I thought I'll go to Canvey Island. So from Southend that's just over 11 miles. I have cycled to Canvey before, but it's been a lot of years since I last did it. I don't usually do these long distance cycling journeys while I'm like lifting heavy or doing a peak or whatever, but I've finished doing my peak for my deadlift now. I've just come off a 2-day fast as well, so I'm just taking it easy this week, so no heavy training at the moment, and then when I do resume training it's just going to be a light restoration block. So I thought, yeah, I'll do that a bit different and just get some more cycling in. So this video is sped up 3 times, and we're just coming into Westcliff now. I was debating whether to go along the seafront and then go past Old Lee and go through Leigh-on-Sea and go that way. But then I'd have to go uphill a lot to get towards London Road again and then get into Hadley. So I thought, well, I'll just go directly along London Road because it's going to be a long journey as it is. And if I'd have gone along the seafront and gone along Old Lee and Leigh-on-Sea and all that, it would have just added to the journey, and I think it would have made it more. I probably will go that way again in the future. Apparently there is actually a bit where you can actually cycle past Hadley Castle, but I don't really know that part very well, but I will look into it because I would like to actually cycle past Hadley Castle. I like Hadley Castle, it's really nice there. I've cycled to Hadley Castle as well before, but I haven't done that for a while, and then when I did, it was here we are. So just cleared the first mile now, 1 mile down, 10 miles to go. So yeah, we're still in Westcliff at the moment, just past Hamlet Court Road and coming up for the Palace Theatre. I've only ever been there once in my life. Really lovely place. So yeah, when I last cycled to Hadley Castle, that was via London Road, and then I went down Hadley Road and got to it that way. So when I did cycle to Hadley Castle, I came from the top, I came from the London Road end, but I might try and cycle from the bottom and go to Hadley Castle that way once I learn the route and exactly where I'm going, because it's mainly all grass around there. Okay, so we're just coming up to Chalkwall, and yeah, feeling really good today. I was debating where to go. I knew I wanted to do a long trip, so because when I'm doing heavy lifting, I'm not really going to be doing long trips really, but it's going to be a few weeks before I start back properly. I think I'm probably just going to do that restoration phase first. So we're at Chalkwall now. So I'm not pushing it too hard. I think I'm only doing about 10 miles an hour here. I wanted to yeah, just pace myself really, and for those of you that watch my videos, a few months ago I did cycle all the way from Southend to Basildon, and I think that was nearly 13 miles. So this journey isn't quite as long as that, although in effect it was though, because right, so I've just done 2 miles just past Chalkwall now, just coming into Leigh-on-Sea. So in effect this journey is actually longer than the Basildon one. Reason being is because it was nearly 11.5 miles to get to Canvey, but then I had to cycle 4.5 miles to get off of Canvey and then get to Benfleet station, and then I just got a train back to Southend again. because if I had have cycled there and back, it probably would have been about 22, 23 miles, something like that. Luckily for me as well, my Fitbit was showing the correct heart rate, so that was good, because sometimes my Fitbit gives false readings on the heart rate, but I kept checking it constantly, and fortunately it didn't. Right, so we were just coming up to the elms now. So the fast I did, for those of you that have seen the fasting video, I did 41 hours, and I actually dropped 8 pounds in a week. So last week I weighed 327 pounds, and I'm just under 320 now, on 319.9. So I lost 8 pounds in 1 week. So normally my average calories are about 4,002 to 4,003, but because I did a 2-day fast for this week, my average calories was only 3,400. So that shows that if I average 3,400 calories, I actually lose 8 pounds in a week doing that. So obviously, I mean, 3,400 calories, that's still a lot more than the average man needs, but it just goes to show that if I consume 3,400, that's way too low for me. I need into the 4,000s, which is probably a lot more than most people, but like I say, I'm 320 pounds, so being a big guy, I need that much more. After this bike ride, probably a bit more. So yeah, it was nice. The weather was really nice today. I did want to do this last week, but it kept raining and I didn't want to take a chance. Here we are, 3 miles, Leigh-on-Sea. So we're coming up to Belfairs now. One of my biggest fears is that I go out cycling and then it ends up pouring down with rain right in the middle of it. But I checked the weather, and according to the weather, it was going to be a nice day all day today, which it has been. So I did this bike ride, must have been about 1 o'clock this afternoon. At the time of recording this video, it's now just gone 6 in the evening and it's still lovely out there. So I think I might go to Two Tree Island next. For those of you that know the area, you'll know that that's near Leigh-on-Sea train station. I've driven there before, but I've never rode there before, so that might be something new to do. You know, I'm always trying to find new places to go, just to make the videos a bit interesting and try and cycle to places I've never cycled before, or try and do them in slightly different ways to try and make it a bit more interesting. Because I don't like walking, I find walking boring, but then cycling can sometimes be boring if you're just doing the same route or journey or whatever. So yeah, I thought I'd try and do something a bit different this time, and since I'm not lifting heavy, I don't mind going that extra bit further. I think it only affects your weight training though, if cardio is excessive. You know, if I was doing this every single day of the week, then yeah, it probably would interfere with my strength gains. But if you're peaking for big lifts, I wouldn't advise doing this, because in the past I found that excessive cardio can sometimes be detrimental to strength training. I mean, this even though it's 11 miles, this probably won't be, because I'm not really pushing myself. I think my max heart rate was about 151, but for the most part, I think my heart rate was around 110. There were some parts I was taking it easy, but even with the parts where I was going fast, I wasn't really pushing myself to the limit. So I'm not aerobically fatiguing myself. It's not like I'm going all out and pushing my heart rate up to close to 200 beats a minute. If I was doing that, then yeah, it probably would impact my strength training. So covered 4 miles now. So we've passed Thames Drive, and there we are, there's the sign for Hadley, so we're just coming into Hadley now. I like Hadley. Hadley's a nice place. I love Hadley Castle. Been there many times. It's real beautiful. Like I might cycle to Hadley Castle as well. As I said, that's somewhere. We've got McDonald's in Hadley. I try not to eat McDonald's very much. I will be honest, I did have it yesterday. I used to have it a lot when I was in my 20s and all that, but it's quite rare that I have McDonald's now. Not only is it overpriced, but it's not good for you. It's crap food and it's just nutritionally void, and definitely something to avoid. So it's very very rare that I eat McDonald's now. I try and stay away from fast food wherever I can. I don't know if you saw that there's that cyclist to the right, so at least I'm going quicker than someone, but then there was another cyclist that passed me about 30 seconds ago. Look, there's another cyclist that just passed me, but they're the avid cyclists. They do time trials, they do it for fitness, they do it for speed. You know, for me, that's not what this is about. This is just a leisurely bike ride, so I'm not pushing it. I probably still couldn't beat him even if I did. I mean, I'm just using a mountain bike. So it probably would, at some point, I probably might actually go out on my bike and actually do a preset distance as fast as I can and really try and push myself just to try and gauge where my fitness is. Not too far, maybe something that's like 5 or 6 miles, just to see how quickly I can do it, but really push it instead of the leisurely bike rides that I normally do, because the leisurely bike rides that I normally do are usually for recovery more than fitness or weight loss. I don't really do it for fitness or weight loss, although there are some nice side benefits, but the main reason is just for active recovery, and I do feel good after I've done a bike ride. It does help loosen me up and all that. Sometimes I get out of bed and I have aches and pains, especially if I have been lifting heavy. So these little bike rides do actually make me feel better. Right, so we're in Hadley now. And we've just come up to 5 miles. That bus was ahead of me, that 27 bus that goes to Canvey. And I've just passed him. I think I actually did get to Canvey before he did, because the 27 bus goes from Southend to Canvey. But the difference is that he goes straight on. At this is the roundabout at Hadley. So I'm going to turn left, which I'm doing now, whereas that bus will go straight on, and that bus will go down Bread and Cheese Hill and turn left at Tar Pots, I think, and go to Canvey that way, whereas I'm going a different way than the bus does. It's been a lot of years since I've actually cycled down this road. So at the end of this road you've got Vicarage Hill, and there's some really lovely houses down there, very steep as well. But Vicarage Hill is straight on, but I'm going to turn left as the road bends round, and I'm going to go down a road called Essex Way, and it's a very steep hill, and it takes you literally all the way down into Benfleet, towards Benfleet train station. Now, in about 2007, I cycled down Essex Way, and I achieved the highest speed that I've ever achieved on a bike before, and that was 44 miles an hour. That's the fastest I've ever cycled a bike. So I didn't intend to beat that today, but I thought, well, you know, it's been a lot of years. I'm cycling down Essex Way for probably the first time in 17 years. So I thought, well, you know, it'll be interesting to see what kind of speed I can do down there today. So we're getting real close to it now. I think we're just coming up to the 6 mile mark. Yeah, there we are, 6 miles. So we are just over halfway towards Canvey seafront now. So about another 5¼ miles to go. So see that where that little church is in the distance, that's where the road splits. To the right takes you to Vicarage Hill, but I'm going to bear left and go down Essex Way. They are both very steep hills, can be quite dangerous as well. So you've got to make sure you've got good brakes on your bike for this one, which fortunately I have. So here we go, 6 miles an hour I'm going at. 12, 16, 20, 24. So my actual speed is now 28 miles an hour, but because I've sped the video up 3 times, it gives the illusion I'm going like 80 miles an hour, but I'm not really, I'm doing 28 miles an hour. So that's as fast as I got to. By now I think I've dropped to about 25. I probably could have gone in excess of 30 miles an hour, but the reason that I didn't do that is because it was very windy, especially coming to the side, and I did get a bit nervous, and the wind really did pick up. I mean, when you go at that speed, you will create a lot of wind. But when I did the 44 miles an hour, when I did that back in 2007, there was no wind, and if there was wind, it was pushing me down. It was coming from my back, whereas this wind was coming to the side, and I just got a bit nervous. I had to keep constantly touching the brakes to stop me going any faster. I got to 28 miles an hour, but that's about as fast as I dared to go, because I was a little bit nervous I might come off my bike, because at that speed, if you come off your bike at that speed, it's going to hurt even someone like me, and it's literally one false move and you're off your bike. So I just kept my hands on the brakes. So 7.5 miles an hour. So we have crossed the bridge and we are now officially into Canvey. We're on the island. So yeah, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to beat 44 miles an hour. That wasn't the point, but I did expect to go in excess of 30 miles an hour. And if the wind had been in the right direction, or if there had been very little wind, then I probably would have just gone 30 miles an hour. But the wind was in the wrong direction. It was quite strong, and I was worried I was going to come off my bike. So I pussied out and just kept my hands on the brake and kept it at 28 miles an hour. So we're coming up to Waterside now. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look to your left, you've got the miniature trains there at Waterside. And I went on them a couple of years ago, and they're really lovely. So if anyone wants miniature trains, they're there on Canvey Island. They only operate, oh here we are, 8 miles now, yep, Canvey Island, Waterside. They only operate 6 months of the year though, between April and October. So obviously they're not open during the winter. But yeah, it's really nice, and the price is reasonable. Might go back there again this summer. So we're about just over 3/4 of the way there now. We're on the number 2227 bus route, coming towards Link Road now. The difference is the 22 bus goes from Basildon to Canvey, whereas the 27 bus goes from Southend to Canvey. So they both go to Canvey, Lebec. The only difference is 22 comes from Basildon, 27 comes from Southend. It's been a lot of years since I cycled on Canvey. When I last cycled onto Canvey, I think that was about 2013. But I think I went a different way. I didn't come along this way. Instead of turning left and coming down Waterside, I think I carried on and went down Long Road and went that way. Whereas this part on Canvey, this is Link Road, and this takes you to Long Road as well. So I'm still going the same way towards Long Road, but I'm just coming at it from a different angle. I'm basically just following the 22-27 bus route. The 21 bus goes from Southend to Canvey and all, but I'm not sure the route of that one. I think that one actually does go along Long Road and go the other way, but I'm not sure about that. So if anyone ever asks me if I've been on an island before, I can say, yeah, Canvey Island. 9 miles now. Once I got to this point, I knew that I only had a couple of miles, or just over a couple of miles left to go. My left hand was starting to get a bit numb, where I'd been holding on to the handlebars for so long, and my bottom was, oh here we are, the 27's just past me. So I did actually get from Hadley to this point before the bus, and now I've overtaken him again. So sort of a little race there. I think he did get ahead of me. Yeah, there we go. He's got ahead of me again later on, and I don't think I caught him up after that. He managed to get to Canvey Town Centre before I did. But yeah, my bottom was a little bit sore as well. The thing is, I'm a strength guy. I'm not really an endurance guy. So long endurance stuff like this, it's going to take a while for me to get used to. I mean, it's not something I'm going to do regularly and all that, but it's just something just to do something a little bit differently. I'm not going to be doing any big lifts at the moment, so I thought I'd do this something different. And then the plan is I'm going to do my 6-week regeneration restoration block. Then I'll do an accumulation block and basically just work on learning log press again, because I do want a 150 kilo log press. That is one of my goals. So this is Long Road now, I do believe, and we are heading towards Canvey Town Centre. This stretch of road literally takes you into Canvey Town Centre, and I think that's Thorney Bay Road. So if you turn right and go down that road, that takes you to Thorney Bay Caravan Park. I haven't been there in a lot of years. So we're coming up before the 10 mile mark now. There we are, 10 miles. And yeah, I will be honest, at this point I did want to stop. Not just getting a little bit tired, but like I say, my bottom was sore, and I just wanted to stop and take a break. But I thought to myself, look, you know what? I've only got about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, and then I'll get to the seafront, find a seat, sit down. I was contemplating on getting some chips, but I thought better of it. I thought, no, I've had McDonald's yesterday. I'm not having another cheap meal. I'm going to try and be good. I'm trying to drop weight, but I'm trying to do it very, very gradually, so it doesn't feel like I'm dieting. It would be nice if I could log press 150, but only weigh about 130 or 140. That would be good. I'd like that. But yeah, 150 log press is something I'm definitely going to do at some point. I just need to make sure that I weigh under 150 kilos when I do it, because I want to be able to lift more than my own body weight overhead. In my life, that's something that I've never accomplished, and that is a goal that I would like to tick off. And 180 kilo bench press would be nice. Right, here we are. So we're coming into the town centre. So you've got the Haystack pub on the left, Island Cafe. So we are now in Canvey Island Town Centre. So I've turned right and I'm heading towards the seafront. I think this is Furtherwick Road now. So I can see the seafront now. I know I'm close, so even though I'm tired and I want to stop and have a break, I'll just soldiering on, because I know that the end is near, and then I can just sit and have a break. I did have a little satchel with me, and I had 2 500ml bottles of water, so I had a litre of water as well, because I knew that when I got there I was going to want to have a drink. But I've literally gone from Southend to Canvey non-stop. I didn't stop off at all along the way. Here we are, 11 miles. So it literally was Southend to Canvey non-stop. I really wanted to do it non-stop. Wasn't really worried too much on the way back about stopping or not, but I just wanted to do the journey non-stop, so I can say that I've gone from Southend town to Canvey seafront non-stop, and I've now done that. When I last cycled to Canvey about 11 years ago, I didn't cycle to the seafront, so this is a first, I think, yeah. And here we are, so Canvey seafront, Canvey Island seafront. Nearly there. I think this was 11.2 miles at this point, so 11.25 miles. And to the right, you can't quite see it, but there's the water over that wall. We're literally at the sea wall now. There we are. Now we can see the water. So yeah, 11.4 miles. Job done. .4 miles, 1 hour 18 minutes, max heart rate 151, average heart rate 131, 1277 calories. Wow. Right. Time for a little water break now. Oh, it's lovely stuff. So I dropped £8 in a week through fasting. After doing this journey, by this time next week I probably would have dropped another £8.